Well, hey, happy Thursday.
Guys, coffee and Convo.
Great day to be alive today.
Yes.
Let me tell you what we are going to talk about.
Tell
We
me.
are going to talk about how God speaks and then there's a process.
Okay.
And our story currently and journey in that and what we've been learning.
Okay.
How's that sound?
That sounds good. Again,
So-
he didn't tell me what we are going to talk
Yes.
about, but cheers,
Cheers.
baby, to that.
And of course, here's to you. Cheers.
Yes.
So, I'm rocking the New York mug today.
Yeah, that's one of mine. It's mine. One of my favorite mugs.
One of my not favorite mugs just because of how thick it is and I have certain... Anyway, but I'm drinking out of this intentionally today because it's about our story within the last year of learning this God speaking and the process, and we came from the East Coast near New York.
So let us know. Do you generally love the process? Because there's some people that love the process of things.
Well, first let's talk about the process.
Or
before...
do you hate the process?
No, like
What?
I hope you get to learn and love the process. So
Yes,
we're going to
I
talk
love
about
it
that
more,
now.
but it's still not my favorite thing. I mean, okay.
See,
yeah,
that's-
I have a
but
different
that's-
view. I have a different view. But
That-
let us
hey-
know. I mean, you might be somebody that, I used to, when I heard that word,
We weren't going there yet. But
okay.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, let us know what type of person you are.
Also, you may notice that we are sitting opposite today, like normally.
Yeah, we are.
So
Why is that, babe?
humans are
I know nothing today.
humans are creatures of habit, and I'm a systems guy, so I'll build a system that works well and don't want to break it.
Yes.
But I intentionally switch things around because I learned about people and learned about how we work.
Yeah.
So today I was like,
So
we are going to
intentionally,
just
yeah.
flip it around intentionally.
Yeah, I was on my way to that chair, but
I drink out of different
No,
mugs
no,
intentionally.
not today.
I drink out of different glasses, styles, shapes intentionally. I walk, run different routes, drive different routes intentionally. Because.
Intention is a huge word. There is intention with everything.
Okay, so here we go.
But
Or-
let us know. Say hi, and
Yes.
to us, we love when you say hi. Let us know where you're watching from.
Yeah.
All the things. But yeah,
So
what thing?
we started this discussion the other day between us
Yes.
because of our story and things and
Yeah.
how some of you know, but we were living East Coast, Pennsylvania there a good number of years. I was running a business that was working well. I was enjoying
Yeah.
that part of process. We were, I was having kingdom impact, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
But I was impacting businesses, business owners. I was working in a mountain I care about, I'm passionate about, part of that being business. We were impacting the church as in believers, saints in different arenas, things
Yeah.
like that. But so things were going pretty well. It was more of a holding pattern. It wasn't like, hey, this is all in, but it was a good season. Then we felt, okay, it's time to come out to California. There's a change, right? We felt there's a change.
Yeah.
We come to California.
And again, that wasn't like, lightning from the sky that we were like, okay, we heard this thing. But it really was that feeling of, you just know you can't stay. It's just a weird knowing.
Yeah.
For me, but I know we shared, both of us shared that, where we just knew that we couldn't stay. Something had changed.
Right.
Couldn't exactly put your finger on, but
Well, we talked about last week. We touched on
Yeah.
how we are hearing Father a lot,
Yeah.
and it's not just ourselves,
Yeah.
but it's Him speaking in our style. So, just for a recap for some of you guys before we discuss a little more, we were going to shift and come out here. We had we got married in South Africa, in Cape Town. And we had both gone as part of a team on a mission over there, and lived there for around 5 years, or just over 5 years. And, you know, we came back from there. That was a little tougher financially and finding a rhythm and different expectations of what we had. So I came back and I learned had more understanding, right? We gained more understanding and truth in how fathers operate and how the kingdom operates. And so I was like, I would not make some of those same choices, or I would not do things the same way as we did then.
Right.
Because I know there's more. I know there's a better way. I know there's better results. And then we begin to look at coming out here and changing again, moving from our semi-establishment in Pennsylvania. We owned a house and had the business, and the kids were all settled in school and whatever. Yeah. But still knowing there was more to life, more to our expression, more we wanted. Yeah. And I'm a planner, right? Strategizing. And so it's like, okay, I'm not doing it the same way. So I planned as much as I could. You know, I took the steps I felt, but there were still like pieces we didn't have figured out 100%. So we feel God like drawing us here. We're like, okay, yes, as we begin to make that decision, then we have prophetic words from other people beginning to speak to that, and how, you know, things are going to take off and things are going to happen and all these great promises, right?
Yeah.
And so we feel God speaking to us. Other people begin to give us prophetic words. Yeah. We come out here. Yeah. We love, I mean, Southern California has been incredible. Just
beautiful.
The scenery, the weather.
And then like everything is different, you know, from the weather to like we lived in the country. Now we live more in like suburbs between two major cities, big cities. And so everything is different. And yeah, I wanted to say on your planning, I used to think in my past understanding of like walking by faith and having faith and all that, I used to just not. Besides that, I'm not a planner in my personality style, not so much. I'm a spontaneous fly by the, what do you call that?
Seat of your pants.
Seat of your pants, and we'll see what happens when we get there, right? Who needs to plan? But like, I used to believe that you don't need to do any of that. Actually, when you don't do that, you have more faith. Right. You know what I mean? So I used to feel like, oh, I don't have that. That's fine, because that's my faith, right? And so learning and my understanding with Father and with somebody that is
and as a planner and a strategist, you can carry a weight or feel an accusation that you don't have faith. Because you want to figure things out and plan. So
I'm saying like our understanding of what faith is also changed. And I actually, to be really real with you, I think that's still changing for me. Because sometimes I still go back to the past understanding of like, you know. So anyway, just to say is that there is nothing wrong with that. With having a plan, that does not mean that you do not have faith.
Right.
So
we land out here, you know, we had favor selling our house. We had favor finding a house to rent out here and live. The kids began to get adjusted, find their places. We love, you know, we love the feeling here. Everything's clicking.
And go. Well, like, so the kids find their way, but one of our big desires and prayers was that the kids really would feel home here and not desire to be back somewhere else, and which is a very normal thing if you have like homesickness or whatever, or it takes a while to find your place, right? Our kids, that was like one of the main things that I keep going back to, that Father's showing me every time, because our kids literally, even today, if you ask them, would you want to go back to Pennsylvania, was for us to live there. They are at the point now, yeah, they want to go back and visit, see cousins, friends,
they
all
miss
that.
family and friends.
But they don't want to go back and live. They love living here. Like, like sometimes
So,
it didn't make sense.
shorten
to me.
that up,
So
though,
anyway,
because we're going to
that
run
was
out of time.
huge. That was huge. Another huge.
Yeah. But all that to say is we know it was a good fit, but when we get out here, we felt Father speak to us. We have these prophetic words about all the great things that are going to happen. We know there's more potential that we're stepping into. Everything feels good, except you don't have the establishment and momentum that you expected to have. Like, so we feel Father speak, and so it's like, let's get here and see all this happen. And then it's like, boom, kids are good, life is good, but I go from a business that is thriving, I put that down, to now I'm not sure how I'm adjusting into society. I tried some different, little things here and there, business ventures. They're not really grabbing, not only in impact and success that I was hoping to have, and cash flow, all that good stuff, but also like it's not landing with some of the truth. I was saying, hey, in my electrical business, there's some strength, some of my identity that's not being expressed fully. So let's step into, and that's not landing. That's not quite landing for you. And so we have the promises, and this is something from Lancewell now. We have the promises, but then it's like the promise, and then the process. And the promise, the high, and then the process. So here we are. We have all these promises. We're excited we get here, and then we hit the process, and then it's like, oh crap! Like, what? Like,
now, and a lot of that, crap, is all like in the physical, natural things that you can, touch, that you want to see happen in certain opportunities or whatever. But like internally, it's been an awesome journey. Like,
well, yeah. So don't.
Am I going ahead?
Don't skip ahead.
Okay.
So let's talk about this. This is the discussion for the day.
He's doing a lot of talking, so I feel like I need to. Yes.
It was backstory so people can find and see reality and say, wow, this lines up a little bit to what I've experienced, or this is something. But so we have these promises, and now we're here, and that, oh crap moment, it doesn't feel like it's moving.
Yeah. Like
that process. So what is it you began to do, or what is it you began to experience as we
when we are in the process, the thing I am still doing every time is, okay, when I'm in that process, what am I doing wrong? Like, what do I need to do to make this happen? Which already sounds like, duh, you're not supposed to make it happen. Now, listen, there's nothing wrong with trying things, and I mean, nothing is gonna happen if you sit on your behind and not do a thing. You know what I mean? Sure. But I'm so this is the first time for me where I have time on my hands, where my kids are not, taking most of my time, because they're in school, all 4 of them, all day long. So that was for me like, okay, I'm not gonna literally sit or clean my house all day. I mean, what am I gonna do? I want to change the world. I have so many things that I want to give and help people live their best life, because I want to live my best life, right? Sure. And so does that answer your question? What did you ask me?
But so the thing is, we get to this place, and we have the promise, we're in the process, and there are things that you can process from your prophetic words or from God speaking, right? We say, hey, you can look at, here's the next thing, here's some practical steps, here's some practical alignment. But we found ourselves in this last year waiting for things to take off, waiting for the promises to come, looking and saying, all right, Father, you spoke. What do I need to do now? Like, what do you want me to do next? What's your next instruction? What's your next thing? And we weren't getting that. Even though we could take some of the promises and prophetic words and find some next things, which are good, but we kept coming to him and saying, you know, what do we do next? And what he began to say, this is who I am, right? Yeah, right.
So that's what I'm saying. So first, my first initial thing is like, okay, where am I going to minister to people, you know, in the church or the gathering, and what places do I want to go? Reach out to some people.
It's like,
where do I want to fly to?
We didn't know everything. We saw there's more potential, but what we thought we did know begins to become dismantled more. So instead of from here to here, you go from here and you go here.
Yeah, so
it feels that way, right?
It's like, 100% feels that way. What? You know, I tried some things, and then Father really started to show me my identity is not in any of that, you know. Not in any of my doing. It's in him and me being his daughter, and you know, really giving me a revelation. I mean,
of course, you've heard us talk a lot about that recently,
I thought I had a revelation about it, but like really an experience and a revelation where I was like, oh wow, that is who you are, and because of that, that is who I am. And there is nothing, no striving, no performance, no anything that I can do to be that. I just am. Right. Because he is.
So that was part of, you know, our truth in realizing some things, even in our sonship that needed to shift. That may not be the same for you because you may have that understanding. Right. But the reality of the promise and the process is what we were always looking for is, what is your next instruction? What do I do next? But really that God speaking, Father God speaking was an invitation to know him more. So we were like, well, what do we need to do? What's your instruction? And he's like, this is who I am.
Yeah.
Right? No matter what next piece of himself he's revealing to you, he was revealing to us another piece of this is who I am. And we keep going, and we were like, yes, but the things are not happening that we expected to see happen yet.
Right.
So what do we do for that to happen? And again, he's like, this is who I am.
Every time. Every time.
And it's like, okay, this is a year of this is who I am. Mm-hmm. But in this is who I am, it also gives us a strong foundation to moving forward, right? Because if this is who he is, this is what shows up around us. And if this is who he is, this is who I am and who you are.
Well,
that upgrades how we see ourselves and what we see as possible. Yeah. And then that upgrades what we step into. And I know we used this before from Dan McCullum, but his line, the word comes true when you come true.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, okay, so the process we've been experiencing is, you know, you showing more of yourself, which is transforming me, seeing more of myself, changing our thoughts, right? Changing our understanding, which makes us become more so that we can step into that place of promise, that next place of expression, more fully, more accurately, without failing. It sets us up for long-term, which is Father's plan, right? Not short-term success and then fall out. Because if we would have operated on our other understanding of who he is, like, how would have that worked out?
Oh, I mean,
Even that piece of like performance. If we would have always been trying to perform,
yeah,
we wouldn't have been thriving. We were. Our message to you all the time is we are created to thrive. Not get beat up, beat down. We're not good enough. Throw it out. We are made in His image to thrive. And if we are performing.
Yeah. Well, and I used to feel those things, and I used to think that is, me. Yeah, such a distorted view. But anyway, so messed up.
It's okay.
So messed up. But that's me, like, suffering for Him and sacrificing for Him and surrendering my all to Him, and even that, He's just showing me every time, like, I need to not point it towards me, because it's not about me. It's not, it's almost like a selfish thing of like, keep finding something wrong with yourself.
Right. Sure.
Oh my goodness, stop looking. Stop looking. I mean, it's like I posted yesterday, He is for you. We say it all the time. Well, what does that mean? He's for you. That means He is not against you. So if He's not against me, why am I against me? And why do I keep making my life hard while that is not what He is doing, Which you have to get a greater understanding of all of those things, But it felt like I was doing a good thing when I felt, bad like that. Can't feel good.
So, like,
Anyway.
ultimately, we use the language doing life with Father, not living for Him, but living with Him.
Yeah.
And these promises are great. He speaks to us, whether to our hearts, whether through other people, no matter how it comes out. And then we go through that process of finding out more of who He is, finding out more of who we are, and shifting some limiting factors, and again, going back to the pruning, it's not cutting off good stuff. It's when someone prunes something, they take off the places that are, you take off the branch off the vine, which is wasting the energy for what that thing was created for. Yeah. And so it begins to trim off the places we are wasting our energy and who we're not made to be in our limited capacity. And Father reveals more of how He thinks about you, how He sees the world, how He sees everything. And we begin to understand that more in that process. Then it's not easy. Like this last year has not
easy. It's not
been fun. Again, we are loving the place, but it was like we wanted to just step in and go, and suddenly you feel in that reversal. But it was because we were becoming more. We are becoming more. Yeah. We were experiencing that. And so to go with what you said in the beginning, like you don't love the process. Like for you, you like to see things happen, right? Yeah. So, but realizing everything is a journey with Father, not the destination. And so it's all about understanding Him more, becoming more, so we can impact the world, the people around us better, more, live more complete lives, bringing more solutions, having more peace and joy.
Being whole and fulfilled, and...
So you don't hate that part of the process. You just
because I
don't
would say...
not seeing the results you expected to see.
Right. I would say it has not been easy. It has not been comfortable. But I would still call it so good, which is like... a paradox.
Because in the reversal situation, though, your heart gets closer attached. Right. Like we walk closer with Him. Right. And that's the reality.
And that's the thing. It's like I would say it's like sugar. It tastes so good, but it's so bad for you. Well, this is not bad for me. It's so good for me, but it tastes so bad sometimes that I don't want to do it and I don't want to be in it. But it is really every time when I still find myself, and I still do. I mean, like a couple days ago, I still do. What am I doing wrong? What is wrong with me? Is there something I need to change? Every time I look at myself like that, I know I have to see, who does he say that he is? I need to find another angle of him, another way of his nature, of who I just need to press in more to who he is, instead of finding an answer or a solution or something. Right. And so when that stresses me out, and it does at days, it stresses me out, you know. I know I need to just press more into the I am that he is. Because as I do, I find out more about myself. And I know that I find out that I am like him. I am, you know, in his image, in his likeness. And right. That's what you need more of a revelation of.
That, and the fact is, you know, if he comes out as, okay, you're the provider because you provided in the situation, what happens when you hit the next challenge or situation? If you learn to know him as provision, as right. abundance, right. like that carries through yeah. no matter what the circumstance or situation. Yeah. Because you can get fooled in your thinking, well, he provided in this circumstance, and you begin to look at, well, I did this, and that yeah. was here, and that was here, and none of those are in play now. But if you know him as provision, yeah. if you know him as abundance, if you know him as the good father, like that allows you to walk into any situation and realize this is true, this is grounded in me, yeah. this has become a part, this is how we are connected walking together, which gives me more strength to walk forward.
So also what I really found is that what you're saying, that he is provision. He doesn't just provide, he is my provision. Like I eat him. Sounds weird, but
or love. He is love.
But that's what I was going to say. What I've been finding out is that provision is a person, love is a person, wisdom is a person. All these things is a person. It looks like someone, it looks like something. It's a personal, you know. And
or
so
an expression of Father. Is that what you're saying?
Right, because he is love. Like I'm in him, he's in me, not separated. You know, I can't see things separated. I can't see myself separated from him. You know. And that's all Jesus was saying when he was walking on the earth, you know.
Yeah. So we're going to wrap it up today.
Yeah.
But that is, remember, you know, you have Father speaking.
Yeah.
We have the promises, but then we have the processes. Not that he beats you up in that, but in the promise, we say yes, right? We take a step. We begin to step into more possibilities. We find out that we have some limiting understandings and beliefs of who he is and who we are. And we begin to process that. We come closer to him, walking closer with him, understanding more of him and more of ourselves. And then that leads us up to the ability to serve, to love better, to take action and get to that promise in the next space. So it's not Father like beating you down and saying, okay, here's my promise, now let me beat you up and rip you up. No, he's leading us and saying, hey, this is what I have for you and the world around you because of you. And when you say yes to what you begin to see and he speaks to you, you find out, hey, here's some things that just need a little adjustment so I can step more fully into what he wants to do through me in the world, with me. Not actually just through me, but with me into the world, because we're connected with him. And therefore that leads us into that expansion.
And all of this is your promise, your promised land, your destiny, you know, includes the promises and the process. All of that together.
Yeah.
You know,
the process is a growing point.
Yeah. And So embrace it. I mean,
Yeah.
that sounds very cliche. You have lots of canvases and signs everywhere in stores, like, you know, enjoy the journey, embrace the process. But really, though, that is when your view of that changes. Now I'm like, oh my word, I need to learn and know everything I can about this, about him, and about myself. You know. That I can, and I'm actually like, I give myself to that, like, really, where before I was like, later, I'm out.
So I am super excited for everything that Father God is releasing in and through each of you, each person in your, like the places, the mountains, spheres of influence, identities coming out. People understanding they're not broken and disgusting and limited, but there's all kinds of great expressions in them that they were made and created to express in all areas of society, and just to love well, to serve well. And so we champion you today in your identity, in who you are, in where you feel you need to show up, how you need to show up, whatever box you're breaking out of, whatever next level you're pushing into, as you live and have faith for the promises spoken to you, as you're in your process and growing and expanding more, knowing more about Father, learning more about yourself, and just going and expanding his kingdom through loving, through serving, through going 110% and being all that you can be. Here's to you today.
Yes.
You're awesome.
Yes.
Cheers, and we celebrate you.
Yes.
Cheers, baby.
Cheers.
Enjoy.
See you next week.
Bye.